If you want to create multiple eye-catching, beautiful pin graphics in just a few steps, then this is the perfect fit for you. Tailwind is a tool that we're going to mention a lot more throughout the course, and you're going to get a more thorough tutorial of it later in the scheduling module, but I had to talk about this feature right now because they offer this create tool when you sign up for your account that is really amazing. You can set it up to where you just have to upload your photos and multiple pins are created for you automatically. So I had to mention this. It is a paid tool, but it has so many different features specifically for Pinterest users, and they're always up to date with the latest Pinterest changes and what's working best for pinners and all of that. So there's a lot of value in this tool. So we can focus on just creating pin graphics for now. I'm just going to talk about that feature. So once you sign up for your account and you're here on your home page, you can go to the side menu and click on create. Okay, here you're going to have a few options. So obviously there's going to be the design gallery where you dive into creating your pins. But before you do that, go to this last tab right here, brand settings. And if you have already like a brand color palette, if you have your logo, if you have a preferred font, then be sure to set this up here. Because then you can quickly just pick that option when you're creating your pins, and all of your pins are going to be looking consistent with your brand colors and all the feel that you want. So for the brand information, you can put your website, or you can just put your brand name. In this case, we just left it as Hobart's Abroad. For fonts, you have here automatic fonts from Tailwind that they offer. You can choose anything, or you can upload your own font. So if you have that file, you can upload it here. Next, you have the colors. So you can just click on one of these and then find the specific color that you want by the code, the hex code or RGB, or you can just browse all of these different pre-made palettes for you. You can try curated color palettes that they've already created for you if you want, or you can add them here. So let's see one that I like. You're also going to have this option when you're creating your pin. So you can always change it, but if you want like default colors based on your brand, then you can choose them here. So I already have those, but I'm going to select these. I kind of like this one. And if you have any logos, or if you want maybe your profile photo to always show up on your pins, then you can upload them here. So after you have set up your brand settings, then we can come to design gallery. Here it's very straightforward. You just have to upload the photos that you want. So if you click here, all right, so here I'm uploading several photos from a recent trip that we've done, but you can also use stock photos here. So if you want that, you can choose here, or site photos. So if you already have your content, let's say you already have your blog post, you can just paste your URL here, and then Tailwind is going to locate all of the images related to that site, and they're going to upload here. Or as I said, the stock photos, if you want to come here and then search for stock photos. Let's say you're looking for like mountains, and then search, and there you go. You can see the ones that are free or the ones that are only for people who have pro Tailwind accounts, and you could select and then use those in your pins. For now, I'm going to use the ones that I have uploaded. Next, we have the text, and here you can do the title of your pin, what you want it to show. So let's say, there you go. So you could have the title, you can add text if you want a subtitle. Let's say best day itinerary. And then for subtitle, I'm going to put e-capital at subtitle, or you could add a call to action too, like shop now, something like that. So let me just do this, e-capital. And now you can change the font as well. I'm going to leave this one as bold, and this one I think I'm going to do something scripted. So maybe if I do like script, there we go. So you've selected your text, your main title, your subtitle. Now we have the color palettes. Again, it's going to default to your brand colors, but you have a few options. First, you can just use any that you have recently used. It's always going to show here. You have your brand colors. You have colors that Tailwind has automatically grabbed from the images that you are using. So that it's really easy for you to just maintain the aesthetic to where the graphics work really well with the images. So in this case, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to keep it more neutral, and you can always save these as preferred or ones that you really like for you to use it later, and they're always going to be saved here for you to use it next time. Or you can use any of the design trends that Tailwind already has. If it's more vivid colors, more pastels, you can search through and pick your favorite one. And lastly, you have your branding. Again, the automatic is going to be the brand name or website that you already set on your brand settings, but you can just pick no branding. Let's say for this specific set of pins, you don't want any branding, or you can change it here too to something that it's not the default. And lastly, if you have a logo uploaded and you want it to show, you would select it here if you had them uploaded. And it is that easy. If you look at the top area over here, before we dive into look at these designs, you can see that there are different post types. So this, you can use these graphics and Tailwind create not only for Pinterest pins, but also for Instagram posts and Instagram stories, as well as Facebook feed posts. And Tailwind is going to automatically size those for the usual size that are used on those specific platforms. So for feed posts, it's probably going to be squared if I'm not mistaken, and for stories, it's going to be that 16:9 ratio, and so on. But what I like to do is leave it as pins, and then later on you can select specific post types. You can see here post types and what they would look like for each one. So I like to always start with pin, see what works well for that, and then if I also want to create for another social media platform, then I do that after. Here you can see the photo count, so you can select any number of photos, and then Tailwind is going to show you several layouts that works really well with just one photo or two, with several photos. Or if you want no photos, let's say you just want a quote, you select here. If you want all of the suggested layouts to have just one photo, you click here, or all of them to have multiple photos. So no options with just one photo. Usually I like seeing all of the options, so I leave any number of photos. But if you want to see, for example, if I just switch to one photo, there you go. All of the layouts now are fit to only show one photo. But personally, I like when there's several. And lastly, you can choose a category if you want to look for specific designs, like let's say for example that you want how to. So if you do how to, Tailwind is going to look at layouts and pin graphics that work really well already on Pinterest for how-to types of content, and they're going to adapt for whatever you're showing over here. In this case, I'm going to remove that category because I want to see several options. So here you can scroll down and see everything they're suggesting, and there's a few things you can do with each one. Maybe you already like them the exact way that Tailwind is showing you, but what you can do is here you can shuffle photos. Let's say you like this layout, like the way that it's looking, but you don't necessarily want those 4 photos to show you one other ones. With just a click, Tailwind is going to suggest new ones from the ones that you uploaded. So really nice and automatic. I love this automation. So if you keep shuffling, you can try to select your favorite ones. Next, you can shuffle layout. So you like the photos, but you want a different layout. You can do that here. Shuffle layout, like that specific layout, but kind of like reorganize. There you go. Let's say you like this one best. And lastly, you can shuffle colors. So from your color palette, it's going to change some of the colors. Let's say I think this one is too light, I want something else. Then it's going to shuffle and grab other colors from the color palette. So let's say I like this one best. You can also click on the little down arrow if you want specific colors just for that, different colors that it's outside of the color palette just for this specific pin, then you could do that. Like you can select this one for this pin and everything else is going to remain the same. But I'm going to leave it as it was. And let's say I'm happy with this design, I like it, select it. And you don't have to do anything yet. You can keep going and looking at as many designs as you want. There we go. Select. Once you select everything that you want, or you can do this before because you see the edit button here, but you can review your design. So if you click here on review designs, from here you can edit each one of them and you can be way more specific about all of the components. So if I edit this one, for example, let's say I actually realized that I did the capital B, capital D, but lowercase I. Let's say I want everything uppercase. You can just double click on anything. You have all of these tools here for all of the components. So let's say best day itinerary. Let's say I want everything all caps. And you can change the font here. Let's say for this specific design, you want a different font. You don't want the one that you have selected in the beginning. So you can change here. You can change the size by using these guides over here at the corners. So let's say you have something in front. For some reason, you want this to be in the back. So you can send it to back, and it's whatever else is in front is going to stay in front, or you can bring it forward. And you can also import different elements. So if you want like boxes or different icons, you can search for something, and then there's several options similar to Canva that we saw before, but they have these different stickers, different components. Some are free, some you have to have the pro account to use it. And let's say that now you're happy with what it looks like, then you can save and go back. You can immediately download it. And you can also favorite it. So let's say you worked on a design, you like the way that there's a specific layout, you can favorite, and later on it's going to be saved on this new tab right here, and you can use it to just quickly switch your photos and use it for your next design, for example. So right now I'm going to save and go back. And from here, you can edit anything that you want. You can deselect if you're not happy with one of these. You can choose new post types, as I said. If you want to select more, let's say you want the pin and you want Instagram stories, so you can add that. Select design. So you have those two. This one I just want pins. Once you're happy with everything, all you have to do is click download, or you can schedule your design straight from Tailwind. And I'll show you more about scheduling using Tailwind later on in the course. But for now, once you download, it's going to download already with the file name matching the title of your pin. So it's already optimized. Hopefully you're using great keywords when you're deciding on the title of your pin. But that's it. I had to show you this newish feature from Tailwind. Let me know if you have any questions in the Q&A below, and let's get to the next video.